Today's show is all about the grind. Our guest, as you can see from the clips here, is a very skillful rider in Trials Fusion. Having reached #1 spot for a short period, a massive achievement however brief, he currently resides within the top 10 on the leaderboards. Collectively, he appears amongst the top players in Trials Fusion on many track leaderboards, boasting 3rd, 10th and many other high ranked spots amongst thousands of other grinders of the game. So let's move on with the show and see what our guest has to say about his trials experiences. On today's show we have a highly skilled rider, so without further ado, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners?
Hey everyone, I'm Cardinal FPS. I'm a rider on PlayStation and I'm 10th place overall, and I'm pretty good at ninjas. Not like top tier, but I'm above average, I'd say.
Okay, now, so on with the Q&A. So Cardinal, how long have you been playing the Trial series and which has been your favourite game to date?
I've been playing Fusion since it came out, and it's been my first Trials game. Other than the mini-clip Trials 2 that was like, how long ago? Like, over 5 years ago? That thing was awesome. I love playing that. But yeah, I've been playing Fusion for 3 years, and I just recently got an Xbox 360 to play Evo, so I've put about 10 hours into that. So not long in Evo.
I take it that the mini clip was that via the PC, so you was using the keyboard.
Oh yeah, that was stupid hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. So to become a skillful rider like yourself, how did you gain skill growth? Was it constant playing of tracks, or have you followed a formula religiously? Maybe handed down to you from a previous skilled rider?
When I first started out, I didn't have any Trials friends, so I just kind of played the same tracks over and over and over and over, and I didn't stop playing. I just kept playing. Like, at one point I thought a great run on the Greater Crater was 7 faults. That was like, holy crap, this is my best run, I'm never beating this. So, but now I've got like 0 faults in like a minute. So yeah, just keep playing. I just kept playing and playing the same tracks over and over, and now I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, I've played a Greater Crater, and I sort of, I found that difficult when I was first started playing too. I mean, I'm nowhere near your standard. But speaking of standards, and having reached world #1 on the top on PS4, you must have rigorously rode many tracks. So could you share a couple of your favourites with us all, and why you find them such great tracks?
Top 3 favorite tracks have got to be Rocker Rages, Eco Park, and Neo Bradford. A lot of people don't like Neo Bradford because of the time saver, but it's one of my favorite tracks because of the time saver. Getting that time saver is so fun.
Well, it's so sweet, isn't it, when you sort of, you hit it and that's it. It's like, adds to the taste.
Just hit it, you just go flying off that thing. It's ridiculous.
So speaking of like the in-game tracks as well, what's your best in-game DLC? I mean, I think mine's Riders of Rustland, so have you got a favourite?
Red Links vs. All-Stars, just because of the quantity of good tracks in the DLC, with only like a few bad ones. Like, I can count 2 bad tracks in the DLC. Yeah,
there is quite a varied amount of quality tracks. That was a good DLC, I must admit. But a question I ponder myself quite a lot is, would you say you have learnt more from in-game career tracks or tracks made by the players for Track Central?
Probably Track Central more than in-game, just because of the squishy squashies and how I can apply those to in-game tracks and bounces and brake flips and all this random stuff. That it's all complicated stuff. But yeah, mostly Track Central, but there's also been like time savers learnt through watching replays, like the Inferno 4 bounce. I had no idea that was a thing until I watched a replay. Like, that blew my mind when I first saw that thing.
I know. Apparently, nobody thought it was possible, did they? I can see where you can gain more skill probably from the central tracks because of the unpredictable of the sort of nature of them. I mean, in the career mode, you just get, your bog standard built for the mass, but in track central, you get different types. Some aren't sort of built all that great, so you just learn from that skill too. So, Cardinal, on to the next question. Here's your chance to say what you want in a track and what you don't want. Example, maybe you like builders who build new exciting obstacles, or maybe you like the tried and tested traditional trials speed run. So, what floats your boat, as I say?
Definitely tracks with flow, like smooth tracks, but to hit them smooth, you also have to hit a bunch of time savers, and if you mess up a time saver, you've basically screwed up your entire run because you lose momentum or you just fall into a pit or something like that. Also, maybe simple tracks where you have to make your own time savers, like you have to squishy every little bit to keep your back tire on the ground as long as possible.
Maybe you if possible, you want to sort of explain the squishy. What I mean, some of the listeners may not sort of know what that means. I mean, they probably do, but
Squishy is kind of like, it's a really advanced technique where you kind of wiggle back and forth on a ramp to get a bunny hop off the edge of the ramp. It'll minimize airtime and bunny hop off the end of the ramp, and you can also go further than just driving straight up off the ramp, kind of like a slide or something like that.
So that's called a squishy. I like that term.
Yeah, I didn't name it. Don't call someone else. I don't know who named it, and I certainly didn't name it. It's a weird name, I know.
No, that's fine. No, I actually like the name. So, moving on. Who would you say is your favourite two builders in the trial series? Obviously, within Trials Fusion, which is your favourite two builders?
I'm going to go with 3 builders, because I have 3 that immediately pop to mind. I have Vegas Trash, who was on the last podcast, actually. Good one, I like that. Real 7, he makes crazy ninja tracks that are amazingly built. And also Chops the Cardinal, who makes really solid easy extremes all the way up to ninja level 3s, which are all well built with minimal tire glitches.
And you obviously need to use it would be the pit viper, wouldn't it? You need to use for all the extreme tracks.
Some people make extreme tracks for the donkey or the roach, or maybe I've even seen the unicorn.
Yeah. Well, speaking of bikes, which is your favourite bike?
Pit viper or the donkey, because the donkey is fun to mess around with.
Okay, so coming to the end of the show, would you like to give our listeners some tips or tricks or maybe just simple advice in how they can become as great as yourself in the riding department of trials?
Alright, first step, get to a point on a track where you can't improve your time anymore. And once you get to that point, you watch a top replay and see if you're doing anything wrong. And if you're doing the same route as them, minimize airtime and try and copy as many things as you can, or do similarly. Other than that, never give up. Keep grinding. Play it over and over and over and over. Just get that time you want, or get a world record, or get your best time, top 100, top 1,000, top 100,000. It doesn't matter. You're doing great.
Well, as I say, practice makes perfect, don't they?
Oh, yes.
Anyway, thanks for coming on the show, Cardinal. Your experience in the trial series will help other trialers, creep up the leaderboard ladder. I wish you all the luck in the future, for beating those
Thank you.
top spots and, beating your rivals. It's been a pleasure, Cardinal, mate. Thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.